Tonight's show, we're talking about redefining spirituality, and I'm answering all your questions with live readings coming up right now.
Does it look like a Devin or David?
David is his name. It's been so spot on.
And I don't know if you put it in the side of your end table. No, you like there's something in your end table that you this too.
My God, you're crazy, girl.
Yeah, he's saying hi, baby girl. He's saying hi, baby girl. And is there significance with like image of a rose at all?
He would
Does that make
always
sense?
give me a rose.
Okay, so he's like doing one now. He's saying to work with some sort of like vibrational machine. Somehow a way to work with like machinery and vibration.
I work with horses, and there's actually some magnawave therapy that's vibrational.
Tell me something that he told you that came true.
Everything he's predicted has come true.
I just don't see it.
And he doesn't have cancer?
It's very possible.
Allow yourself to hear yourself. Allow yourself to feel yourself. Allow yourself to talk to yourself. Allow yourself to respond to yourself. That's looking within.
You might encounter negative aspects of self, but that's a freeing experience.
Because then they start realizing that they can't think outside the box. And I say, if you can't think outside the box, then who's the stupid one here?
There's a reason why we're on this timeline. There's a reason why we've chosen to be in this awakening. I say we're going through a spiritual awakening.
So I don't just come on here and talk bullshit and repeat. I'm living this stuff.
In harmony with nature, in a mystical adventure, we're building on a culture.
Happy Thursday Night Live, everyone. Welcome to the Cruisyverse. How y'all feeling in 2025? How's your 2025 going so far? Cray cray? Insane in the membrane? How's it going? It's been an interesting week. I definitely want to start by saying, my heart goes out to those who've been affected by, of course, the fires earlier this month. When I predicted it a week prior, I didn't expect it to come the next few days. But if you guys haven't checked out, my 2025 predictions, I did kind of a two-parter. First is the 2025 predictions, and then I did 2025 preparations. And I'm going to try to, cut those down into like smaller segments in time. And I have a couple of other things I'm going to be foreseeing that I've been saying for quite some time for the next few years. We'll get into that as well, especially in relation to California. There's a lot going on in California, so we'll get into that. And so it's been an interesting week. We didn't do Leading Out Loud this morning because Christopher is having technical issues on his end, and getting his computer up, and the camera was worse. So it was just so much technical glitches on his end. He just couldn't get started, so we just had to postpone that. So that would be next week. Self-Love Manifesto would be the topic for next week on LOL. So, and I was talking to Gwen English of Serious Joy. We're working on a show that I'll be doing soon. And I was just saying, like, the past couple of days has felt like retrograde a little bit. Like, my technology's been acting a little cuckoo. My partner Eric's phone was just stopped working all of a sudden. So yeah, it's been very interesting. And thank you. He says I'm looking good today. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. He was in Hawaii. So let's see who's chatting in the room here. Where's my overlays? There they are. It's one man show. Let's see who's chatting in the room. David Cruz, Jennifer Cruz, Brenda Zwack, hello. Guinevere 123, Eric, what's going on, baby? It's my partner. Wonderful mod Nina is in the room. So if you want to have a question done tonight, it's $15 for card pull, $20 for one question, $30 for two questions, and $40 for a live video. Please, if you're going to do live video, it can only be through Venmo, because that's the only platform I can actually comment on the transaction and send you the link for that. And the Venmo and PayPal links is in the description, and Nina will help you to get that all going. Okay, so if you have any questions, she will assist and guide you. But get them in soon, because I will close them down, and it's first come, first serve. So Iggy, can't you see? He says, let's get together. It's a dangerous night. That's right. That actually is my song, Crazy. You are amazing. So, you're spouting my lyrics. I love it. So if you guys haven't heard my song, Crazy, check it out. It's on my other page. Colette Love, good to see you. AC, beautiful, good to see you. Kristen Velero, 14. Maggie Infati, good to see you. Stephanie Pataharada. Tommy Garasi, welcome aboard, good to see you. Yeah, it's interesting. You know, LA was my home for 18 years. I just moved to Palm Springs 4 years ago, so LA was my home. And so, you know, I lived in the Hollywood Hills, and seeing, you know, the hills on fire was kind of, you know, it's kind of heartbreaking, but thankfully no one in the Hollywood Hills area got so affected like in the Palisades. But the conspiracy on that one, arson, political, yes. We can get that into another time. I think I kind of went into that last week on LOL. Gabriel Tinkoff, Colette Love, good to see you. And anybody else is watching, I can only see who's chatting. Welcome aboard. I know a lot of people have been tired or sick too. It's like we've been just having a roller coaster and waves of energy going on, you know, the past few months. And so that's just part. When we awaken and we ascend, there's going to be downtimes, a lot of downtimes and uptimes. So that's what's going on. Those of you who are new, I will start with the collective read. Linda Jane, good to see you. Good evening. I'll start with a collective read, and I use tarot and oracle cards to do so. I don't necessarily need that for reads, but I love doing that for collective purposes or for random card pulls, just to kind of make it just quicker on the topic. So let's see what's kind of the forecast of the week, emotionally, energetically, and things that we can be focusing on, vibe, all that great stuff. And then we'll get into the topic, redefining spirituality, which I feel like it was necessary again. I've kind of done this topic so many times before from the past, you know, year and a half I've been on YouTube. And, you know, one of the topics was New Age, New Cage, where I kind of went into these New Age concepts and theories and philosophies that were kind of binding, keeping people in a cage, actually, not free. So we're kind of going to get into that a little bit in the topic today, but more so about how can we redefine what spirituality really means and make it more simple, you know, so... So, okay, Elizabeth Sager, welcome aboard. Newcomer. Okay. Let's just shuffle these cards here. Should have like some like temp music. So, okay, still shuffling. Oh, look at that card that fell out, and I'll show you in a second. It's funny because some of these are kind of specific, but we'll kind of give like predictions, like prediction shout outs. Seems like we'll get some predictions, you know, specific predictions for people. It seems like different in this collective read. Here's happy. This is happy hour today, guys. We're in happy hour now. Okay, interesting. Let's pull some oracles. Almost there, guys. This is part of the live show. We can't like speed it up. You know, I should probably have maybe someone do a commercial during this time. Oh, that's sweet. Yeah, I mean, there's something in the air too. You know, I had a sinus infection, so it's better. It's just, you know, I took care of it. Like I got ahead of it last week, so I started feeling. I was like on with my vitamins and the foods, and I got ahead of it, so it didn't become so bad. But you know, down here I have the allergies in Palm Springs, which are bad. Yes, happy hour. It's fucking happy hour. Thursday night, happy hour. Let's do that. Get your pleasures, you know. Yeah, I would be playing one of my musics at the end. I figure after the live, I'll play a song. Okay. Let's get into this. Chatty catty. All right. So the first card, you know, and I'll make sense of all this too, because they had me pull quite a bit, but they're kind of going to lead into like certain people who are watching, predictive wise. Lover's card. Okay. So love is in the air. Well, what I'm getting this in the collective sense is it really is time for you guys, especially this week, to like cling on to either your relationships. If you're single, cling on to friendships right now. It's important that you find support in the aspect of you understand where your home is when it comes to family. I love to use home as a figurative when it comes to the right people, the right places, the right friendships, you know what I'm saying? And the families that we create for ourselves. At least it's time to start nestling up to that and understand where do you sit and where you're positioning yourself in your individual individual life when it comes to your family and love foundation. Because even if you're single and you're not really having any type of relationships going on, finding the relationships that you appreciate now and grasping on and holding on to them can actually get you in the stage of love and acceptance and allowing people to come in too. So take advantage of this energy of love, actually. And we always talk about self-love in the spiritual communities, and I get it, self-love, it sounds so redundant, so repetitive, it's like a bumper sticker, it's lost its value. But self-love means that you're not just focusing on deprivation. You're not just focusing on, oh, I don't have this, or oh, I didn't do that, and oh, I got to do this. You're not putting yourself through the grinder of to-do lists. You're at least allowing yourself to say, well, the things that I have, I'm going to put love into. The relationships and friendships that have been there for me, let me start putting love into those relationships, because guess what? That'll start attracting love. If you're not appreciating the love that is coming to you in your life now, you ain't going to get any more. Spirits can be like, if you have this love here that you've been wanting and you're not appreciating that, why would you put more love in your life if you can't appreciate the simple love that you have here? So again, put love into those relationships that you have now, the people who've been supportive of you, the people that listen to you during your trials and tribulations, right? And the people who've just been around when no one's around. Appreciate those relationships. Start doing something special for those relationships, because if you're in a relationship, those relationships will increase and expand and become closer, and you'll find a newfound, I would say, level or a newfound expression with that relationship. And if you're single, when you do this with your friendships and put love into those relationships, you'll start attracting love too, because love attracts love. Period. Done deal. No simpler formula than that, right? And with the Eight of Cups, it's kind of like leaving the past behind. So let me get into that more specifically. When we say leaving the past behind, you have to identify the relationships in the past and why they're in the past. And we need to be more objective about the growth that you've made that put those relationships in the past, and putting a confirmation stamp on that. You're really putting a button on it saying, you know what, there is no reconsidering those relationships. There is no over-processing those past relationships because what they did or didn't do, what I was deprived of those relationships. I'm not going back even in anger to talk about it. I'm done giving any type of energy or putting any type of memory, holding any memory of a relationship that just kind of just sucks the life out of me, unless you evolved from it. Because many times when we evolve from relationships, we can hold on to the memory as a notch in our belt and say, oh yeah, I've been through that. I overcame that. I'm better now. But there's just, I would say, annoyances and hindrances to past circumstances of relationships that just need to be let go of and just left in the past and no longer to discuss again. Because, there's I find many people who are trying to move on and to create love in their life, but yet they still talk about the frustrations of what they've been through. And they could be over the person, but they're still attached to the circumstances. It's all circumstantial. Oh yeah, but I was cheated on, and I was lied to. Oh, it was horrible. And still talking about it in present day, which just keeps cycling through that frustration of energy. And what that does is it just keeps your perspective on that deprivation. It doesn't open your perspective to bring people in who don't do those things. And the more we give attention to those past circumstances, then we still kind of activate it within us, and we try to seek that out both to avoid it or to bring it in subconsciously. So if we're focused in that way, we'll start looking for people who are like that and say, oh, I got to stay away from that, instead of just broadening perspective to see a spectrum of personality of people that don't relate to that energy. Because we tend to kind of create whatever we've been through in the past in everybody. That one person cheated, everybody's a cheater. It's like, that's not rational. Leave the past in the past. Understand the past was a chapter in your life that you were going through, that you haven't grown or haven't experienced any type of, wisdom of a circumstance that you need to, gain wisdom on. So you've expanded from this. Leave it in the past. And if you can't talk about it without kind of chuckling or just brushing off your shoulder, well, then you need to do some, I would say, resolving on that past so you can fully leave it in the past and let it just be a growth period for yourself. This will also attract love, because these types of circumstances, talking about those stories of the past and kind of, arguing for limitations because of what you've been through, keeps you blocked. It keeps your perspective stuck on what it was in that past circumstance, in that past energy. Regardless if you're still attached to the person or not, you're still attached to the circumstantial energy, and that keeps you circling in it, right? So letting the past be the past, please. And if you're still holding on to resentment, clear out that resentment within yourself, evolve from that, understand what you didn't have then that you need now for yourself, understand what you didn't do then that you need to start doing now, and that will give you the motivation, the inspiration, the wisdom to expand from it. that attracts love too. Because that's what self-love really is too. Because you're putting love back in yourself. You're saying, I can't allow this energy to deprive of me any longer. So let me nurture this wound. Let me understand what I didn't do, what I can do now to expand from this. It's okay. Like limiting the self-judgment, right? So I think so. A lot of you guys might find that kind of, I don't want to say conflict, but dichotomy of embracing new relationships, embracing your current relationships, but also the past might start resurfacing in the next week or so to kind of remind you, hey, there's an unresolved here. There's an unresolved. You might not resolve this. So that might come out. Past people might start coming out of the woodworks. And that could also be a positive thing too. Sometimes past people come to remind you the good places that you were at that time. So you'll be objective, be clear of identifying what these connections really mean to you when they start coming in. This resolution of past relationships, this resolution of deprivation of love and grabbing on appreciation of the relationships that have been with you and are with you now and appreciating that love attracts more love, expands love. Remember, love attracts love. Right? Let's not overcomplicate and overly mystify. Why am I single? Why are my relationships not growing? Right? I don't know. So I don't know why some of you guys turn into Mickey Mouse for some reason. I don't know why I did a Mickey Mouse voice. Gosh, Mickey. But Ten of Pentacles. This is all about, this is my card of inheritance, but also unexpected monies. So this is specific for people right now who are waiting on some sort of resolution with a financial aspect. So those who are watching, you'll get a resolution this week. If you're waiting on some sort of investment on return or a lawsuit or any type of monies or settlement that you're waiting on or an inheritance or some sort of money that's been like delayed or locked up, expect to see that resolving this week. Okay, expect to see the money coming through, the money flow through this week. If you're promised a bonus, perhaps next week or so, you'll get that bonus next few weeks, right? But if you promised any type of, I don't know, gift or something, I don't know, whatever it could be, that money will start opening up today. The resolve, I would say any delays on financial delays will be resolved this next week or so too. So those of you who have been wondering about that delay, it also could be, indication of even like trying to sell a property. Maybe if you've been trying to sell a property, you get somehow it comes through this, this next few weeks, things will start kind of maneuvering in away from, the stalling energy and into like it's energy where it feels like it's popping. I've also been predicting that May is a good time for like buying and selling a home too. So it seems like for both ends of the spectrum. So May, but I feel like the next couple of weeks, if you're trying to get that money going and waiting on that money, it comes through too for you guys. And they're just saying protecting yourselves, guys. Don't fall victim right now because they're saying the way the current energy is now, you guys might fall privy to stupid scams. Stupid courses or stupid things just to get you money, right? And so you might fall for something. Make sure you guys aren't falling for stupid scams. Make sure you're protecting your assets and your values. Making sure you're looking at every penny that you have and appreciating every penny and understand where it's all going. So saying right now is the time to develop. And this is, again, it goes with appreciation once more again, appreciating your money, appreciating your every cent that you have, because when you appreciate what you have, the value increases and it gains, you get more. Right? When the value increases, then you have more of it. So that's always been, to me, my code to manifesting money is appreciating what you have now, letting the value increase and build, which means that you'll start getting more, but also projecting that value too. So appreciating your relationships this week. The ones that are close to you, letting the past be in the past, and appreciating the relationships of the past that were there to serve you and there to allow you to evolve and to grow, and the power that you received from it. And also the monies that you've been waiting for financially, that you've been maybe stuck on or been waiting for, because that work starts coming in too. Next couple weeks, for those of you who put that energy out and been waiting on it and had delays, that comes through this week, okay? And protecting your assets, protecting your financial, I would say, routines and behaviors, okay? Your routines and behaviors. The Two of Wands is really all about looking ahead now, right? And so new year, new me, right? That whole crap, which I can't stand that stuff. But new year, it means like there is more. Like, what is this next chapter for you? What's your next tier? I like to say it's new year, new tier that you're evolving, and where you're evolving to. What's your next step? A lot of people just say, "Oh, I want success." Like they think it's just to happen all in one year. Right? 2025 is going to be my year of success. My year of wealth. It's like, it doesn't just come in like that. And that is when someone is chanting that, essence of today's my year to be abundant, and you haven't really done a follow through the previous years, your chances are you're sitting in deprivation and massive lack that you just need an explosion of it at once. Life doesn't happen that way. You know, when fruits, you know, when plants grow and fruits grow from plants, it doesn't just pop out. I mean, there's a process of it evolving and growing and blossoming, and there it is. Same thing with us. We don't just become 40, snap of the finger. We have an evolution that we become 40, 50, 60 years of age. So just like that, your success doesn't just like plop at you just because you said so. And we're going to get more to that about redefining spirituality. So you might say 2025 could be the starting point of your success. Perhaps you have a great idea that gets your success going, right? That leads to success. So instead of saying, I'm becoming wealthy this year, I'm success this year, let's cut the crap. Let's get to the essence of what is the link to that? Where are you linking yourself to that's going to generate wealth and success for you? That's the question. That's the manifestation. So this year, instead of saying, oh, I'm going to be wealthy this year, focus on, I'm going to find that niche of myself and the creative expression of myself or passion of myself that I find valuable, that I also find, you know, that I'm passionate about, but also it's valuable to other people. And I'm going to get that going. That's your starting of success. That's going to be your starting point of building wealth in that sense. So let's go over this hokey affirming bullshit and saying things in the sky and thinking somehow it's just going to blossom because you have an intention for it to blossom. You know, I've intended to have my hair to regrow. It didn't happen because it's just not in the card. Just not part of how physical reality works. And so we have to build a process, and there are components of physical reality that are not changed just because you thought so. Okay, there's certain things you can do by thought, and there's certain things you can do by intention, depending how far the manifestation is and how in alignment you are to it. But not everything just because you say so does it happen. You got to do so. Okay? Because we move energy and we crystallize energy by action. And so that's a major thing that people keep forgetting about, is that action is the key to this physical reality. So if it's all based on thought, right? Then if you thought about killing somebody just because you're angry, oh, I want to kill them, right? If you thought about that, aren't you glad it doesn't happen? Oh, I thought about slapping the hell out of him because he pissed me off. Aren't you glad the thought didn't actually turn, that you don't have a consequence just for the thought? So just as you don't have consequence for thinking a bad thought like that, you don't just render shit, just manifest stuff just because you thought about it. Same thing. You know, so we need to start being rational with these things. And that's going to kind of lead me into my topic now about redefining spirituality. Because spirituality isn't hokey in the clouds. Okay, I'm going to fetch you these oracle cards right now. Being spiritual doesn't mean you put your heads in the clouds and you start like understanding all these different mystical aspects of what you can do. That is not what spirituality is about. Spirituality is about self-evolution. How are you growing? Understanding more of the self. You get what I'm saying? And the more you understand more of yourself, you grow, and that evolves. You gain more power, more insight, more wisdom. See, people think that spirituality is, oh, I manifested something and I got something and it manifested. I'm spiritual. Look at me. It's like, you're far from spiritual because there's no wisdom behind practicing desire. So if you think practicing desire is spiritual, try again. Because that will only last you so far. Because you might get excited that you could manifest something and it'd be an excitement and start following your passions and things might manifest. But boom, once you hit a wall of karma, you're going to be stuck. Because then like, oh, my affirmations aren't working. Oh, the thought of the cars, where's the relationship? I said it 5,000, 6,000 times. I manifested before. It's like, yeah, but there's a block here called karma that you need to face now that you can't bypass. And when we try to bypass karma, you will have more things backfire negatively in your life, including harming other people. In the process, to get what you want, you're doing all these things. You're actually causing more harm to yourself and to those around you. It's called chaotic energy. It's called chaos. And so, and we've all heard the phrase, the road to hell is paved with good intentions. I'm good intending. It's like, but you're creating a road to hell for you right now because you're not focusing on the evolution. Is why we came here. So it doesn't matter how much you could affirm things. It doesn't matter how much you can dissect Neville Goddard. It doesn't matter how much you could dissect the matrix of energy and how much you could quantum mechanics and all that crap. It doesn't matter how much you dive deep into that. If you're not resolving your karma and understanding what the sole purpose is, you ain't spiritual at all. Because being spiritual, you didn't come here to incarnate to desire things. I'm this massive power of soul energy and soul consciousness. I'm going to incarnate in the physical world to desire things, to want things. That's what I incarnated for. That's why I'm going to squeeze my consciousness into density just so I can want and wish for things. That's spirituality. Try again. You see, we incarnate this brilliant, intelligent consciousness that is connected to all that is. We call God, this infinite intelligence that we are stemmed from, incarnated so we can expand this soul purpose. We can expand our soul because it's all about expansion and power. That is the point of I would say, our spiritual existence, is to expand, to become infinite. There's an infinite loop of expansion. That is the point. It's empowering. And the more we expand, the more we see, the more we can create. And the more we can create, the more we can express. That's why we've incarnated into density, to understand the yin to the yang, to understand the expansion and contraction process through a physical world, so we can understand what needs to be evolved within ourselves, within our soul. That's spirituality. But does that mean that you have to be a psychic or a medium? Does that mean you have to be like this mystic and spells and all this stuff? Nope, not spiritual at all. Well, you have to. The more you know yourself, we keep saying, like, know thyself. We hear that all the time, and no one knows what the fuck that means. It's just like, know thyself. Okay, yeah, I know me. I love me. I have blonde hair. I'm cute. I love myself. That ain't knowing yourself. That's fucking superficial shit. That's just you trying to pretend like you love what you're doing when you completely hate yourself. So you have to try to confirm yourself. I love the way I look, just because you don't like how you treated yourself. Overcompensation is not spirituality. You see, spirituality really is just simplistically saying, you know what? I'm at this point in my life. I made some decisions that maybe didn't serve my best interest. And maybe I made decisions too that put me in really bad circumstances. But you know what? I can observe that. I'm not going to judge myself for that, because I know I'm just growing and I'm learning. Just like a child riding a bicycle. Do you kind of kick the child in the face because he fell off the bike and didn't learn it? God damn him. Or do you look back at yourself and call yourself stupid because you were learning how to ride the bike and didn't understand how to ride it? No, you're like, I was young. Didn't know how to ride it. It was the first thing that I was experiencing. Well, same thing here in this physical world, and the things that you're experiencing in your past, they're new to you to experience, or they're continuations of something you just haven't quite learned yet, or haven't summoned the wisdom on. Right? So then you look back and say, what wisdom can I obtain from those experiences? That's spirituality, not judgment. It doesn't mean you have to be in your head in the clouds. Just be positive. Just be positive. Be positive. I can't think of the negative. No, think of the negative. That's not spiritual. That's delusion. You should be able to say fuck all you want and still be spiritual. Because, being spiritual means you're objective. You understand everything exists because it has to. Even the negative of negative is there because we're in this wheel of reincarnation. We're all in our different, wheel of karma, And we all have this, cycle of karma that we're all experiencing to different levels and different degrees. You don't understand why these negative things are happening from your perspective of karma, but it's happening in their end of the spectrum because they need to evolve, and they chose to evolve in that way. Whether it's the dense of dense that we call evil, that needs to exist. Otherwise it wouldn't exist. We don't pray it away. Oh, because we don't understand why certain things occur. You want to understand why certain things occur. That's what spirituality is. What is the purpose on the grander level of spirituality? Why these things are occurring? What really occurred with the fires in LA? Why are there people that are starting these fires? And why are there people that are being privy to, being a victim to those things? What's the purpose? What's the karmic purpose of this? You see, because I escaped all that in LA. My vibe's like, I'm not a match this anymore. I got to get the hell out of there. After loving it for 18 years, something within my soul said, I got to get out of here. It was almost instantaneously. People were shocked. They're like, Scott, you love LA and you said you'll never leave. I'm like, well, I got to get out of here. I'm gone. Right when I left, the whole city crumbled with COVID and homeless and all this other shit. Now the fires. And so, and as I predicted, before. Because when you're evolving yourself, you know how to maneuver out of circumstantial things because it doesn't align with your karma. But I'm not preaching that law of attraction bullshit. Like, oh, well, why'd you attract that? And so did you think about something? It's like, no, like, what is part of your karma that's allowing yourself to experience these things? That's the point we want to understand. And that's spirituality. And then you feel like you're manifesting things because because everything is already connected. Right? Everything we hear in the spiritual community is everything's connected. It is. And when you become more in tune to yourself, you start recognizing that you're aligned and sync with your past, that things just happen naturally. Things unfold, right? Perfectly, because everything is connected, but it's in your favor. You're in the right rhythm. That's the flow. People talk about the flow, being positive. I'm in flow. I'm going to scream for excitement. Have this happy face and praying hands and I'm in flow. It's like, that's not flow. That's delusion. You might as well be on crazy medication. Flow is that you understand your life purpose and things happen. You evolve. You expand from the negative and the positive. You're purging thoughts and things just happen. You meet the right people at the right time. It's all aligned with people who are on the similar timeline, a similar karmic cycle. And you learn and grow from each other, reflects each other. That's what's really happening. So we got to stop this judgment shit. I said the wrong thing. I thought the wrong thing. Why did he say this? Who cares? If you can't handle it, go in another direction. But we need to understand, we need to be equipped to understand what reality really means objectively, and allow ourselves to look at that and ponder and to see the cycles of why things are happening karmically on a higher level of things, not your 3D point of view that this is bad and this is good. That's a very childlike mentality of Santa Claus and Easter Bunny. Like, you're good, you get presents, you're bad, you get coal. Like, let's get out of that. You're good, you go to heaven, you're bad, you go to hell. Same conceptual, mind controlling, limited bullshit. That keeps our soul in contempt. That keeps our soul in bondage, because we're not allowing ourselves to expand, to understand everything needs to exist but non-existence. And we understand how we fit in that. And if we can observe something of a grotesque nature, then we understand that that's something we've evolved from. And the things that we detest in this physical world, we've done it before in a past lifetime. We get to see glimpses of that in our physical life in this incarnation, because we get to look at that and say, I don't like that anymore. I've evolved from that. So what you detest in this lifetime, you once were. Remember this. You once were. And that's the whole point of evolving, to become more of the God, enlightened, awakened energy, that you have to understand and experience all perspectives as the God energy. That's ascension. No one's telling you that. Everyone's telling you ascending is the matrix. Understand that you're bound to this matrix, and ascension is that you're keeping your thoughts at high vibration. Bullshit. How much do they sell you for a course on that? 10,000 for a course to tell you that load of quackery bullshit? No. Ascension is that you understand all perspectives, right? You got to experience all perspectives, and that's how you ascend out of density and are able to experience higher levels of dimensionality, because you no longer feel in contempt to these lower dimensional frequencies of what we call evil and bad. We understand it. We're like, okay, it's all necessary. I see the validity behind it all. Boom, you ascend out of 3D reality. So there's a lot of bullshit and misinformation in the New Age communities, which is why I say New Age, New Cage, because it's just keeping people stuck thinking that they're doing something wrong because they didn't manifest the relationship, because they didn't think about it properly enough. I'm supposed to affirm it, but then don't think about it and don't say it's not there. It's here, but it's not here, but I can't say it's not here, so I have to pretend like it is there, but then I can't think about it. Do you see this mental gymnastics that you put yourself through to judge yourself because you don't get what you want? You see, getting what you want is the problem. You gotta stop saying, I don't care about this shit. It doesn't mean that you don't be focused on money. See, like, finances for me, it's like when my financial, life I've always been great financially with money because I've always been driven to work. But it really took its peak when I just started focusing on appreciating everything, like really looking at practicing my relationship with money. Which means, what are you spending? Do you know what you're spending? What are you budgeting per month? Are you just spending just to spend? What are you doing with that money? Right? So if you're not practicing appreciation and building a relationship with money, I don't care how much you want to affirm and manifest and envision money, you ain't getting it. It's not happening. Until you step into your purpose and your calling, and perhaps you might have, spiritual, assistance to help you with certain things to get your head into your purpose so you can start generating more money. But we have to build these relationships. If you want a relationship, how's a relationship with yourself? If it's shitty, you're not getting a relationship. If and as I said before, if your home life is shitty, you're not going to build a family. This is the game of physical reality, people. And so your external world is reflecting where you stand emotionally with yourself, but also where you stand in your evolution process. Because your conditions are just reflections of your progress. If you're not progressing as a soul, as a person, your conditions are not going to progress. They'll stay the way they are. I don't care how much you want to watch spiritual things, buy this course, write the affirmations. I'm positive. I don't care. You can do that till your face turns blue. Nothing's going to happen for you. How do I know? I did that too. I used to teach that shit. Until I understood what spirituality was from the first part of my life. Then in my 20s, I got into the New Age law of attraction shit because I started to know everything was just always happening in my favor because I was living from my heart the whole time. Then when I diverged into that and started teaching and preaching that and studied that, my life went to shit. Massively. So I'm like, well, that ain't it. But I had to go through that because I knew my calling was to get rid of that, to teach against that shit. So then when I got out of that and then I started focusing on my purpose and like understanding like it's really about the person I want to become. I want to become a better person. I want to achieve more wisdom. Boy, did my life just press play immediately. Manifest it as you will. And those who are manifestors, I hear this a lot of stuff with human design. It's like that depends on your karmic journey. If you've evolved and resolved a lot of karma, you might just be able to sit here and just be a dreamer. That's not for everybody. Not many people are in that position, just dream. And some people might have to understand they need, in this incarnation, to dream, but that depends on the person. And those people are usually highly evolved. You know, and I've had incarnations like that. And I mean, it is part of my incarnation. I'm still like the dreamer and things happen the way I want to. But that's just only because I'm living in passion and doing what my contractual agreements were before incarnating. That's spirituality. And knowing, again, when you dive deep into yourself and understand with, you know, and you understand like really where your purpose here in this life, the stuff that you've been through, and you want to know more and dive deeper, you'll start getting past life flashbacks, or you might meet with someone who does a past life regression for you, right? Or you might even start recognizing like your past incarnations, how it actually correlates with this incarnation and the whole purpose. You'll start getting that information. Then the focus shifts on, oh wait, it's not about this life about getting things and just like being a normal like 9 to 5. It's really about like, I want to become a person that's more creative, or I want to become a person that's more wise. I want to become a person that's more in tune with my emotions. I want to become a person that's more expressive. Or I want to become a person that's really more helpful to others. I want to become a person that's more empathetic. You start realizing that's the person you want to become, and then you find an expression for that, and whatever expression you find for that, you start doing it, and guess what? That generates value for other people. Then you start generating money for yourself, and boom, that's where wealth comes in. So, you know, and I watch these videos that pop up, but this one guy that just like reads Neville Goddard and it's like, you manifest tonight, 24 hours manifestation. It gets me sick. It's disgusting. And then people are just like with the praying hands, oh, I said the affirmation, put it in the chat, the comment section. Oh, yeah, it's coming. I'm blessed. It's nothing short of than saying that Jesus is coming to save the planet. You know, we are powerful souls. We came with a mission. We came with a purpose. And if you don't get it in this lifetime, boom, you plopped up back in the reincarnation loop. And those that control this reality know that. They know how to keep your mind. They know how to keep your mind bound to this incarnation so they can use you as leverage to gain the power that they need. And when you skip out on your karmic evolution, you pass them, bloop, sucked right back in the reincarnation loop. No choice. And you just keep recycling in, and this is why they have there's such a battle on your mind. There's such a battle on your mind and your soul to keep you just recycling in, and to be pawns for those who have these control issues and power issues, because they can't evolve further. They're beings that cannot evolve outside of this physical reality. Okay, so you have to understand that. So you want to understand your evolution despite on what's going on around you, and say, if I have view of this, it's part of my karmic history. So where do I need to resolve on this? That's what spirituality is. So, and there's also an emotional scale in psychology where we have depression at its lowest. I wish I had the image to put up. And this is when I get a team, I'll tell, hey, yo, Joe, go put up the graphic. I need a team at some point to pull up these graphics. But again, I'm evolving. I've been a year and a half on YouTube, so in time, we'll get there. But there's an emotional scale, the lowest being depression, the highest being joy, but in between, you have depression, hopelessness, frustration, anger, hope, excitement, joy, and all that stuff. So you can't just jump from one to one. You can't just all of a sudden, like, I'm in depression, I'm now all of a sudden in joy. It doesn't happen. You'll be bipolar and schizophrenic. There is a process. So sometimes if you're in depression and people have taken advantage of you and you haven't summoned your power to stand up against that abuse, you'll evolve possibly when you realize you're depressed and you want more for yourself. You'll evolve from a hopelessness. You'll be like, I just feel hopeless. I don't even know what's going to go on. And you'll evolve from that. And then that would be frustrating for you. Like, I'm just so sick of this. You'll get anger. You've evolved, you're raised. And now then people start coming to take from you, you might say, fuck off, get the fuck away from me. You might be that, blunt and that, crass about it, but that's still better. You rise. But then once you start pushing people away and you realize you summon the power, you'll get into like a little bit of hope. I'm like, you know what? I can find better for myself. I can do better. I'm pushing people away. I feel better. So next time someone comes in and take energy from you, you'll be like, it's like, no, dude, I'm good. Leave me alone. Leave me alone, right? And then you evolve again. You like have more excitement. You're like, I feel focused. I'm focusing on a passion. I'm focusing on what I want to do here. I'm not listening to people anymore because that's been a block of finding my passion. Now I'm doing my passion. You evolve, and all of a sudden you're like, someone comes take your energy. You're just like, you just kind of laugh, say, I'm good. You build that finesse. And then you get into joy when you live in your purpose, then you'll probably just feel compassionate for those people. It's like, dude, like you'll teach them, coach them, and say something nice to inspire them and move along. And by that point, you'll be enjoying so much that you won't even you'll just have these barriers that those people won't even be able to get into your life, into your essence, right? So understand, if you're at the fuck off stage, stop judging yourself for it. Climb up that ladder. It's okay if you're at fuck off mode. You need to be. You went through a lot of deprivation. At least you got there to have some sense of power. That's abrasive, sure. But that abrasive energy just means that you're just where you're at on that scale. You want to reach up to where you're not affected any longer. As I keep saying, objective and unaffected. Right? So that's the thing within these spiritual communities. It is self-judgment. Look at the Christian religion, like self-judgment, gay people going to hell, all these things about interracial. Like, look at the Old Testament in the Holy Bible. It's just nothing but judgment, self-condemnation. And if you think about it, this is written by a God, but God is judging its own creation. How does that work? You know what I'm saying? So, creation evolves. There's anomalies and there's a spectrum of creation, beautiful creation. We're supposed to embrace that and work with that, not condemn it or judge it. But same thing, your own experiences, your evolution is part of your own creation. And so to whatever dynamic it is and how it's expressed in the physical world, we're supposed to embrace that and not judge it and understand how we can heal it, nurture it, and grow from it. And that's the point. So got to stop judging ourselves, got to stop putting conditional parameters on everything. And we got to start looking for the person we want to become. Because how many people we see who are wealthy, have the money, have the relationship, and they're miserable and they take their lives because they're so miserable, even though they have everything they want. How does that work for those people? That's evidence that conditional, you can get all the conditional stuff, be good, I get all the conditional things, but you're still alone. And I always say the worst form of loneliness is to have it all around you and still feel alone. Is that what you guys want? You're in a rush to manifest these things. You're in a rush. I need the relationship now. Something's wrong with me. Other people around me getting married. It's like, well, if you got married now, you'd be unhappy. You'd probably be in a shitty relationship. That's why you're not married right now. If you had money, you'd probably piss it away and put yourself more in debt to where you have billions of debt for the rest of your life and feel like you're in a prison. That's why you don't have that wealth yet. You're not ready for it. You won't handle it well. So once we embrace, it's an evolution. We stop judging ourselves and comparing ourselves to where others are at in their trajectories. Because you might observe someone saying, oh, they're ahead, they have their relationship, they're in love, but yet they're not happy with themselves. You might be happy with yourself or the ability to be social and create, but they don't have that advancement. So you have to understand, you might find someone is more evolved or more advanced in their manifestation than you are. You have to look at things that you're more advanced on that they're behind on. So, it's a yin to the yang in that regard. So we got to stop saying because someone has something, I don't have it, there's something wrong with me. That's a bunch of bull. Because then you recognize, well, I don't want what they have. And then you start looking deep at the story that they have. They could be conditional and all this other things that you just have to be very open-minded to that. So it's about your own personal growth. And to wrap this up, the true results of being spiritual, you become intuitive. You become psychic. You can see through the matrix, as we call it. You can see through that stuff. So that's why people, who are, I've incarnated with mystical energy, psychic mediumship and understanding how to manipulate, physical energy and healing and removing energy and moving energy because I've done this in previous incarnations. So, because that's part of spiritual growth. So the result is when you dive that, everything I just said, you dive into the truth of that for yourself, you become intuitive. You become like a mystical powerhouse. Things happen. You can predict things, see things, read things, change things, influence things. And I was talking about this with my mom about, people leaving bad energy behind because, a lot of people say, I don't believe in curses. Like, okay, yeah, you don't want to reinforce a curse, but you got to believe that people leave energy around. I use the example that if someone's wearing really bad perfume, you don't intend to put that perfume on. If they hug you, that perfume, it's left on your shirt now, like, oh God, now I gotta get this shit off me. Same thing with energy. Some people can bring that energy, you hug them, they leave that energy with you. Thankfully, with that energy, we can cleanse that, because it's not a physical imprint. Same thing. If someone farts in a fucking room, I use this analogy all the fucking time about the farts, right? So crass, but it sticks in your brain because it's so crass. But if someone farts in a room, like, you didn't intend for them to want to fart in your room, but they did. But the air, it still stinks. They leave it behind. And then people spray Febreze, and all you have is left is a Febreze watered down fart, right? Sometimes it's hard to clear that thing out, but you have to do what you can to clear it out, right? But energy is the same way. So whatever you're dealing with energy with other people, you have to be aware of what's around you and what you're being influenced by. And so that energy will stink. And sometimes that energy will stay there because you can't see it or smell it or taste it or touch it. You don't know it's there. You just feel frustration or a lack of clarity, clumsy, not focused. That's where you gotta really, when you're in tune, you give up that intuition, you start understanding your energetic space. But the more you understand your intuitive space, you can expand that, and the space will have to shift around you. I got to the point in my evolution that, like, wherever I go, the energy, the space has to form to my energy, not the other way around. I've been doing this for many incarnations. So I can walk into a room, if I don't like the energy, it shifts to match me, not the other way around. But a lot of you guys are not at that state or that stage of progression that you're going to have to, like, just intentionally move the energy. So just like I intentionally with my partner do Dutch ovens. And my poor Rocco on the sheets is like eyes are watering with the Dutch ovens. It's all noise, no smell. Anyways, enough of the crassness. And look, I like to bring crass into something to bring things down to earth. So many people, like, these spiritual crayons, like, oh, he's so grotesque, he's so blunt, he's so abrasive. It's like, triggering you much? Why did that trigger you? Do you feel like you can't be free with in-your-face bluntness? Is there a problem there? So no, I definitely love to bring things down to earth because we're human. We all fart. We all have this crass nature to us. We've got to bring this message down to earth because that's the whole point. Once we settle into planet Earth, then we understand our evolution in this human format. We exceed, we excel. The whole thing is you want wisdom. You don't want things. You want wisdom. And then wisdom gets the things. Wisdom gets the things. So the more wise you become, the more you become in your essence. And you just naturally just create wealth for yourself, create love for yourself. And so, this is the whole point. And so, Tamisha has an interesting statement. Oh my God, this is not Michael Jackson picture, Tamisha. Tamisha, I need you to look up. I have a Michael Jackson story on my page. I want you to look it up. It's called Story Synchronicity Michael Jackson. I've had so many Michael Jackson connections, and he pointed to me. So I sound crazy saying this, but look at that video. The Story Synchronicity on my page with Michael Jackson, and you'll understand why. It's crazy. And I had a visitation from Michael Jackson again last night. And here you are chatting, and here's a Michael Jackson picture. So, interesting. But yes, so you say, I feel like I've been broken generational curses. I just feel so damn free. Yeah, that's great. But understand generational curses doesn't mean that it's been passed down to you. It just means that it's part of your karma too. We align and incarnate with families that have similar karmic energy. Right? So when you say generational curse, it means it's your own personal evolution. Just remember that. And then we incarnate around the same essence of karmic circumstances with other people. So again, spirituality is evolving yourself. It's all about you and where you're at and where you're going to be. It's okay no matter where you're at. That's spirituality. It's not about being a prim and proper. That's what society has created to keep people in order, to keep people in control. And I also like to give people a sense of accountability, because if we believe there's someone watching us and judging us, there's a sense of accountability, and that could work for those who are completely out of touch. So I think religion serves its purpose. All these other things that I talk about serve its purpose. But those of us who are at different levels of ascension, we need to see through the bullshit that we don't need to be relying upon those things. Again, religion serves a purpose for people who are not spiritually evolved, that need to understand there is fear in someone watching, that they're going to be put into a sense of morality. It works for that, but we're so evolved to understand it's just for control, but it serves its purpose for those lower levels of souls who haven't fully evolved or have a sense of empathy or accountability. Right? So I speak against this and the hypocrisy that to break, a lot of us have those religious karma and subconscious karma we need to break, and just that we feel still bound by through our previous incarnations, that we need to just break it. but it has its purpose for what it is, like I said before. Okay. All right. Well, that was a conclusion of the topic. The collective read kind of just like went into it. It usually does anyways. But before I get into the live readings, here's a quick message from Nina.
What's up, Thursday crew? It is me, Nina. I'm excited to share this channel message. So what was coming through earlier when I was tapping in for the Thursday crew, I heard the word discernment, discernment, discernment. Those people that you might have maybe idolized or idealized or kind of put on a pedestal, that pedestal is about to drop. Like, I'm getting this vibe of they're showing me archery, like being able to hit your target and cut through the bullshit with absolute discernment. And that bow, that kind of Ace of Swords energy, like that kind of cut through is coming through. And the guides are showing me that it's going to be really important to not doubt your intuition during this time and not doubt those like little nudges that you get, those little inner stirs that you get when you're feeling like your boundaries being crossed and when you're feeling like something's just not in alignment anymore.
Nina, you went it too quickly. I was pre-situating. I like it. Did Nina just say bullshit? Did she just curse on us there? I love it, Nina. That's true. Let's get real here. And it's true. Look at the people that you're looking up to. You know what I mean? I love that, Nina. Thank you. And I love that you put that in there. Look at the people you're looking up to and ask yourself, are you becoming more of yourself or you're trying to be like them? Because it could be inspiration, I'm going to be like them, but they should inspire you to be more of yourself and say, oh, they inspire me to be more of me, not inspire me to be more of them, right? So definitely pay attention to that. Because you're saying, I want to be like them, the problem is then you're idolizing them and you're just not going to evolve. You're just going to contribute to their legacy, not your legacy. And so when you look up to someone, they should give you more insight to push you to be more passionate to do what you're doing. Right? Oh my God, they said something, maybe like focus on like my love or focus on this. And oh my God, I feel better about myself here. Like that's who you should be looking up to. It's a parallel, of that. All right. And Stephanie, I sent you a link, call in for that. And I'm going to get to the live readings here. Bada bing, bada boom. And get your readings in now, guys, because I'm going to shut them down soon. So get them in. I don't want them last minute. Please don't do that to me. Okay. So we have Stephanie waiting for her to call in. And then so let's get to the next question here is from Kristen Villarreau. And she says here, hold on. Okay. Question. I know my energy is scattered, but I have been refocusing. I feel good about this year, 2025. Do you see success coming for me, like financial success? Love you. Love you too. Well, let me expand this a little bit more for you, my love. You're not going to like my question. Oh my God. I love it. Chris, you're making me laugh by that. I don't not like it. I just feel like I'm like, Kristen, you kind of know better. But no, I understand that. But I want to continue what I said before, right? I was saying that like success is like a building block. I think that you're going to start your building blocks, for wealth this year. So yeah, I do see that. So is that going to come into like full manifestation 2025? No, but like you'll see like, okay, like I got the building blocks. I created a focus for my career and you're going to feel good in that regard. That excitement is going to lead you on to more of that success, so I think you're starting success this year. Yes. And I think you're going to build the foundation for it this year. Absolutely. Now it doesn't have to take long for that to physically manifest financially. That could be like a year or two where it's like really abundant, but you'll start seeing the progress. You're like, I'm having enough now. I'm having like more than I've had before. So you're carving out the foundation. So I feel being more intuitive on that, but also being more inspired on that. So in that sense, yes, I think that starts where you create that foundation to lock it in for your growth to you're not going back and forth. You know what I mean? So, and doing something on your own. So like maybe working on your own or doing something like your own skill or own practice and pitching that, you know what I mean? So yeah, I think that you'll get more into, like an independent. I see more travel too, actually. So you might even travel get out and about too. So that also means there might be some financial income for you to travel to help you expand what you're doing. So yeah, I see that breaking through. The foundations have been set. So whatever artistic expression or artistic creativity, you might just like lock it into, you know? So, but I see traveling too, you know, and this is like 8 of Wands is like quick success too. So that's like the quick movement too. But I feel like you're scattered too, because I feel like you're doing one thing and doing another. And so I feel like that you have to focus more on, you know, getting yourself, your project completed, and then find ways to expand your clientele. And I think that traveling is going to help you with that too. Like just discover where you can go other locations and places. So yeah, that's good. I feel like it's going to be inspiring too. Just getting out and about. That's what I feel for sure on that. Oh yeah, you will. That makes sense. You publish it. Okay, that's a creative endeavor then. Yeah, I think you will. And set that foundation, you know. Remember, it's a building block, and find ways to use that, you know. So it feels like a good productive year this year for you. Yeah. So that's creating success. But remember, you're like, okay, if I'm financial backs and forwards, I want to solidify that. So you're creating that foundation so it evolves and builds. I definitely see that. Yeah. For sure. But, you know, financial success should be like even shortly after you build the foundation. It can be like a year, 2 years tops, you know, to where it starts becoming really abundant. The manifestation of the money doesn't have to take that long either, you know. Last time I was there, I tried to take a kangaroo. Okay. Oh, I love those kangaroos. But remember, my love, the only key here is like we said in the collective read, focus on that process. Okay, focus on the evolution, the tiers, and then you'll start being intuitive on your positioning on your endeavors, and you'll allow time to be what it needs to be. All right. Okay, let me get my headset on because we have Stephanie here backstage. Backstage, like there's a stage or something. But it says in green room. She's in the green room, so she's waiting for me. So let me get this going here. So, because otherwise it'll be an echo and it'll drive you guys nuts. Well, I'm glad that I inspire you. I know what you mean. Inspiration is key, Kristen. Inspiration is a flow of spirit. Inspiration is progression. Inflation is the gas of the soul. Right? I know that, my love. You're good. But that's the gas of your soul. So when we have inspiration, we're inspired, that motivates, that creates, that puts movement in. So you always want to stay as inspired as you possibly can. All right, let's get Stephanie here in the room. Let her to the right here, and let me add my overlay. What's up, sweetheart? How are you doing?
Hi, honey. Happy New Year.
Good. Happy New Year. 2025 is finally around the corner. It's finally here. It's no longer around the corner. It's finally here. So, how's it going for you so far?
It's amazing. It's insanely good.
That's good, as I told you it would be. You worry warded a little bit. So what's your question today?
So it's kind of like a dual reading. Thank you so much for your time always.
Oh, you're sweet. Well, you paid for it. So, I mean, hey, it's a give and take.
I'm going to ask my behalf, but especially and my little sister. I like to call her my little sister because I consider her my little sister that I've known for years here. And she's been by my side through thick and thin. We work together back in media, and now we are actually working together on the same team.
Right. Good.
And she's extremely brilliant young lady, super strong, super kind, like a little angel.
Oh.
So we're both kind of in the same predicament. The same feelings that I was sharing with you as far as the team, she's been feeling it lately.
Yes.
So her name is Ali.
Mm-hmm.
So we just want to know, is she better off staying? Is the team lead going to try to screw her if she stays? Or because somebody else just left that was key for the operations. So now Ali is the only one left.
Well, again, like I said, this staying could benefit if you just like linger it out for a little bit. And like I said, you included just like staying a little bit longer and take as much you could benefit from it. But I feel like, you know, there would be some benefits of staying for about 2 or 3 more months And then at that time, I would suggest maybe looking to expand out it for both of you guys. I still feel like there's something to chew on still here. You know what I'm saying? So, do you understand what I mean by that?
Like as far as like learn and take advantage of?
Take advantage of opportunities, resources, possibilities. Yeah, it's just something still to chew on here at this with this team, right? Yeah. That will benefit long term, right? So you want to take advantage of that. So I feel like, you know, probably 2-3 months at that point, I think that you get enough what you've chewed from this, that'd be a good time to kind of expand out of it.
Okay, and then Ali already started applying at other places.
Mm-hmm.
She's super strong and amazing at what she does. So
yeah.
I'm pretty sure she's going to get offers. Is the team lead going to structure a better package for her to stay? Because she cannot afford to lose her.
She will. I mean, that's what I'm saying. That's what she can chew on. She can get a better package, stay, and then expand after that. Do you know what I'm saying?
Okay. Yeah,
because this way she gets some sort of a credential, or she gets some sort of an experience she could put on her resume and be like, oh, I also was this role here at this team, and I left it because it was a toxic work environment. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I've been saying for quite a bit of time. That allows something to chew on right now, so you can take the opportunity and then expand from that and go forth and use that as your in your favor in the future. So, but that feels like a 2-3 month. You know, between now and 2-3 months of that window.
But as far as her getting a better structure in her role, in her package deal will happen now, right? Because everything is happening right now.
Yeah, so like say within 2-3 months, she can get that deal, she get that offer, maybe accept it, and then get out within 2-3 months.
Okay.
So like she should, if she when it comes to, she should say yes to it and take it, and then she might start seeing like I said, the contentious energy, and it's like, okay, well, I'm leaving now with that role. She leaves with that role. Do you know what I'm saying?
How does so the new role will be an upgrade superior to what she said, where she can put it in the resume. That's what you're
exactly
saying. And then she can get more money in the future opportunity.
Right, because then when she's looking for another opportunity, well, I'm this role at this place right now. Do you know what I'm saying? Okay. That's what I've been talking about. There's still something to chew on here.
So now, because all of this is shifting in the past like 48 hours, right? So the team lead now is being like so nice. It's
of course. What did I tell you? I told you all of this, by the way. I told you this. It's going to flip. She's going to start depending on you, and it's going to be like in your benefit, your sister. I told you this. So now it's happening. So it's like, take advantage and then get the hell out, taking what you need from it. And then if she, you understand how she operates. She's not being appreciative.
So the other question is, should Ali, because Ali has sales in her DNA. Should Ali stay in real estate? No, she's amazing. She's such a people person, and she's brilliant. Or should she go back to like marketing and digital? What should she do?
Well, what I find that she's gonna do, because I can't tell what to do, is her life to create. This big as me, I'm like, I'm not. I can see where it's going. She'll stay in real estate. I think is she doing commercial real estate right now?
No, not yet.
She will. Because I see her going to commercial. Because I'm like, I don't think she's doing it now. I wasn't sure. But I see her going to commercial, at least working commercial. Because I saw the image that clear. Just couldn't decide if it was now or later. But I see that being a direction of commercial real estate, building great contacts within that, traveling. So I think the marketing thing is beneath her. Okay. Especially when she goes more to commercial type of real estate and building connections that way. I mean, she's building that trajectory to be very lavish. Because they show her on private jets and do all that lavish stuff, and you will too, actually. But she's just showing that she will be gravitating with that. I just think the marketing thing it cheapens what she's building right now. And going back to that, it's like, why would you go back to that? So no,
I'm so proud of her, because I've actually watched her go through the ranks throughout the years, and she's literally like, I love her like a little sister.
Right, but just I want to understand, and I know she can co-sign this, is that any success that she makes, you make. So it's like you guys are working together, so
that's what we want, because we love each other and we love working together. We're like a great team.
Yeah, but I really feel like she's going to accelerate a lot this next 2 years. Like there's going to be a lot of acceleration too.
Yeah.
So same thing here. Take advantage, chew what you can on the situation. Then you move out and like, oh, I got this nugget and I moved on and now it's benefit to where I can do now and leverage my relationships in the future. All of that. So I'm glad it's finally happening the way I said it's going to happen, because now you're like, I get why you told me not to leave yet. You
did. You said it. I know, like she's super career focused right now.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
And this is Ace of Pentacles. It's all about like financial, investments, financial, abundance. I hate to say abundance, you know me, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But like finance is going well for both of you guys in a sense with work. The investments coming through. You're creating, making things very lucrative for you both, and so it's going to be a great financial year.
And we're very career focused, but how about her personal life?
Well, the thing is, she's going to meet someone probably, romantically. I guess you're asking that question about romantically. Is that what you're asking? So, yeah. She's a tough cookie, though, in relationships. She's tough, man. She has to. One thing I would tell your sisters: don't be so transactional in her relationship. She's almost business minded in her relationships, but she's gonna meet a man. Because I saw her when she evolves in commercial real estate. It might be a couple years too before she really settles home with someone. But she needs to be challenged by a guy. So I feel like this guy comes in and kind of challenges her. Feels like he might be also in real estate in the same industry. He comes in and they kind of like they challenge each other, but he softens her. You know what I mean? Because he already's got a lot going on too. So she might even fall in love with a mentor or something. Someone she like admires or is decides to be a mentor, and she might fall in love in that way too. But that's going to take longer. I feel like you're, like I said before, you might meet someone this year that you might find really enticing. Whether or not that becomes a relationship, we're going to keep that a mystery because I know you're not looking for that right now. And so I really feel like you'll meet someone that's enticed. You'll get the love juices flowing because they were preparing that the last few reads we had with you, even when Chris Reck, and I did reads for you. Love was in the air, like getting you prepared for that love to come in too. So, you don't forget, you cleared out karma with the previous situation that you had romantically. Yeah. You now find the value in self. So that's going to start attracting that in. So just be open to that. And it could start casual, maybe lead into something in the future. Just be open to that. Cause, I really feel like that, financially things will be great and you'll create the opportunity just like your sister. But also you might just meet some dates this year. I'll just leave it at that. Because then you're like, I don't want love now. I'm done. But
no, I'm not saying that anymore.
Good. Okay.
Any other things for Ali and I before we sign off?
Your mom's giving a rose, and your mom in spirit's giving a rose to both you guys. Was there a celebration? Is there a celebration coming in February at all? Like my
dad's birthday.
Your dad's birthday? Because she's going to be I think she wants to celebrate that too. Getting people together. Maybe get your sister and your dad together, and she wants to be present for the celebration. You know what I mean?
You know what's crazy? I actually just told Ali today that I'm gonna take her to Chicago with me in February, and her little sister's birthday. It's on the 13th, and I told her we're gonna go for a weekend after the 13th.
Good. Well, because your mom's like totally like on board of connecting with you guys and that, and bringing everyone together. Like, she's excited about this, and she's giving a rose. So I don't know what a symbol of rose would be. Usually that's love, but it just means
my mom's name, Rosa.
Oh, okay. Well, then that's why she showed me a rose. Okay, that's why. But yeah, so she just wants to be a present for the next, having people together. She's excited for that. So like, keep it in honor of her. Keep that when you meet with her, keep it in honor of your mom and bring her present. Like, talk to her in the present next month when you meet your dad.
You know what happened to me really quickly before we sign off? I had a dream 3 weeks ago, out of the blue. I was in a home. It was in a condominium, and I was in one bedroom, and then there was another room next to me, and then I saw two spirits, and I wasn't scared. And then they just came to me, they walked up to me and they said, this is how we're going to start communicating with you more often.
Good, finally. Because you've been like, you've been like back and forth, with that. Wait, is your dad in spirit too?
My dad, he's still alive.
Your dad's in play. Okay, because I was trying to see because I don't know if we read something with your dad before. I don't remember, but unless it was somebody else. My memory was off on that. But let me see. I'm glad that's happening because you've been having issues like getting communication to your mom. So if you're having a dream state, good. Like embrace this. Okay. But yeah, that makes sense why her name is Rosa. That's why she showed me Rose. Okay. But and again, why don't you connect next month with your sister and come together? So you might see signs that she's around with you next month because and gathering together and going on that trip and celebrating your dad's birthday.
No, I always see signs. Always.
Yeah.
I always.
But I'm saying, but when she wants to talk to you, you know what I'm saying?
Oh.
Signs is good, but if your mom says, hey, we want you to do this, like she'll find ways to like really kind of talk, not just a sign, you know, because the signs are cute, but it's like we want actual, like, mom told me this, mom spoke this to me, you know, you want that specific, you know?
So my main goal, if when it's time to depart from this team, and this is what Ali and I have talked about, is to create our own team because
Yes.
we both love to empower others.
Yes, I think we talked about that too, but yes, absolutely. Because like I said before, you guys, her success is your success. So that's just going to accrue. So absolutely. I mean, it's power and what you both do. You both do the same thing. Why would you not? You know, and so, but she's definitely more the socialite though, for sure. Like she can, I'm seeing her really connecting with like powerful people. Like it's nothing to her, you know? So and that's why I saw the commercial real estate evolving. So that's a really great balance. And you're good at structure. You're good at like making sure things are regimented. And so it's a perfect balance. So go hit it this year. Come on, it's time. Like everything from last year, like we said, has developed to get you to here to expand. So you can see the evolution. You can see the necessary process, right? It makes sense. Yeah. So enjoy that now.
Thank you, my love. I appreciate it.
I love you. I'm so excited for both you guys. And your mom loves you too. Your mom just wanted to sign off to you too. And she loves both you guys. She's very proud of both you guys. She's like, yay.
Thank you, honey. Talk to you soon.
Bye, baby. See ya.
Bye.
Bye. Okay. Wonderful, Stephanie. That's, if you guys wonder every time I say Stephanie when she's in the room, that's her. Because her name is Panaharada, I think. So it's just easier for me just to go. Okay. Let's see who's next here. We have Stephanie Kristen. We have Kathleen Prentice. Carpool for Kate. I almost every time I see Kathleen Prentice, I always say carpool for Kate in my mind. I'm so familiarized with that process. Okay. Oh, that's right, Sydney. I remember that. I remember that. Yeah, actually, it was on last week's live, right? And I said something like, your dad's saying he's trying to get through to you. Remember something like that? He's trying to connect with you and to like listen to him. And then like the next morning he came through to you in a dream. That was amazing. But Stephanie, you're a good example too of someone who's like stuck with your goals, stuck with your practice, stuck and just like continue seeing it through and that growing. Like you're the prime example we were talking about of how manifestation really works and how you're starting to, even through the questioning, the challenges, you stuck with it and you still seeing grow and evolve. You're staying true to your purpose. So that's a prime example we were talking about. So good job. I'm very, 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 I hate to say proud of you. That sounds condescending. Like, oh, I'm proud of you, but I'm very happy for you. But proud too, I guess. I think I gotta probably repost Sydney. I think when you first came to me on the live show, we did a video reading with your dad. I should repost it. It's on my YouTube somewhere. When I first started doing live readings on YouTube, I should repost it because I remember that because I didn't know you for Jack at that time. So, and it was pretty cool. Now knowing you and looking back at that. So, all right, this is for Kate. Carpool for Kate. Kate Spate. This is gonna be a simple message, and card pulls are, and just FYI, those who put card pulls, they're gonna be very simple. Sometimes I'll go off in specific spirit pushes me to. Sometimes it's just like kind of a reminder. That's why the prices are so cheap for card pull. But it's a reminder for you, Kate, to it sounds cliche, but I'm gonna elaborate more on the clichéness of it. Is that it's time to stop and smell the flowers. Slow down a little bit. I feel like spirit guides, whatever you want to call, however you like to articulate. I just like to say spirit. I feel like they're trying to like give you message inspiration. And the way to do so is just, you got to slow down a little bit, maybe spend more time in meditation right now. Do some channeled writing if you understand what that is. Just get a notepad to just like channel what you're feeling and seeing. I feel like there's like a burst of inspiration that's about to come through, but they need you to slow down a little bit. Just stop and smell the flowers. Go for a walk and enjoy the being what it means to really be present. Just focus on like every little sensation and sensory right now. Because I think you're going to start getting some channeled information, and I think that's going to be something that's going to be kind of good for you. So, you get by meditation, automatic writing. If you just went meditation, just get a pad and just like write what you're feeling, what comes to you, and start tapping into the intuition they're saying. All right. Stop and smell the roses. And because, I feel like you're embarking on more of a self-focused journey moving forward. And so I feel a burst of creativity coming through with that as well. All right, Kate? Simple reminder. But it's also saying that, there's a lot going to be opening up because of that, of inspiration and creativity and creative expression. I love it. Christina K. Kautsudas, if I can say it, I don't know. Hi, Scott. You're fabulous and lovely and so well met. Oh, thank you. You're so kind. Just one question. Did you get the email I sent with my choreography? If not, is there somewhere I can send them? Still working on the programs for you. Super excited for your last videos too. Thank you so much. You might have to resend it, Christina, if you can. I get so much emails, and then if I take a day downtime or I'm doing a show, like it gets lost, and especially if it didn't get flagged. So, and I lately I have to kind of tell people when they do follow back, because I get people follow back with sessions, and there's like paragraphs sometimes people send me, and my time's limited. I'm very well intended. I'm usually good at getting through and responding back, but I had a lot of downtime last week from having a sinus infection. So after my clients and shows, I went to bed, and it was only like responding to like session worthy emails that need to reschedule, rebook, the quick ones in that way, and having my assistant help with that. But so if you could resend that, that would be great. And it's the same email address, but allot me some time because I'll flag, because I'm backed up. I also have people, and people are not aware of this, I mentor people on the side too, like just out of my own time, and that takes some time too when I'm mentoring other people. So I'm good at handling it all, but I spread it thin. I'm saying mentoring, that's not sessions. It's people that I like just do mentorship for on the side. So just, if you can just be understanding of this when you send emails, and just, I'll flag it, and, and just keep it simple for me to understand. If I'm trying to like answer a lot of emails, keep it simple for me. And that's for everybody too who's watching, who might have sent an email. I'm usually good and I respond back, but if I get a whole load, I'm an aqua. We're just like, I'll do it when I have time. I don't want to fake it or do a half-assed message in return. So yeah, please resend it, and I'll pull a card for you, even though it wasn't really a question. But yeah, and I'm sure I've missed quite a few when I was sick last week. Because I was so tired, I couldn't even get up. I was so tired. It's funny. Movement this year. So I'm just doing a card pull for you because you didn't really ask a question, or you didn't have to pay for this question of the email, but they're saying movement this year. So not even just movement with what you're doing in your expression, but also, just physically movement this year. So I see you getting physically intact, physically focused, and I see a lot more, movement in your expression, almost like a newness of progression in the work that you're doing. So yeah, I see a lot of things coming in that kind of fast, quick movement. I also feel like a mentor also coming in for you, but not in the mentor as far as like emotionally, but just to help you in the field that you're doing, someone that inspires you, someone working alongside you in that way to maybe get you to get to the next levels, what you're doing. I feel a lot of that inspiration coming through for this year too. So I think that's wonderful. And so things will be getting moving for you. So I just wanted to give you a little bonus to the question, even though the question was a read, but I think it's going to be good, fun 2025 for you, and particularly about seeing how these connections are connecting for you, especially the people that you're meeting in relation to certain business relationships, right? Like I said before, people who inspire you or mentor you, great time for that as well. So yeah, that's great. But send that email like again, because I think I'm backed up by 2. I kind of caught up, so yeah. Okay, Celeste, long time checking in. Thank you, Scott Cardboard. Okay. Just shuffling these cards. No, you're good, Heidi. We're still in. I'm just first come, first serve. There's people before that we're just getting to, so your timing's good. We haven't quite closed it down yet. Probably close it down in the next 5 minutes, so you're just in time. Oh, you did? Okay, well, let me see, Celeste. Okay, so then let me get through the people in between that, and then I'll do it in the order of that. Is that cool? So let me give you a link on this, though. I'll send you a link now that I see that. Thank you for updating me on this. So let me just you'll see. You'll get the link. I put the link in the comment of the Venmo. Okay, and so you can call in whenever. I just when I'm done with this reading, you'll just be backstage. You can just call in now if you'd want to. So, okay, Jai says, "Hey Scott, been going on dates. Good. I've been talking with a girl. Name's Lauren, and she seems fun and good energy. We're going on our first date tomorrow. I know I should just experience this for myself, but do you just want to get your feel for the energy of this? Okay, cool. Good for you going on some dates. I think I said 2. If I'm not mistaken, Jai, maybe correct me if I'm wrong. I feel like the last time we asked a question that I saw a date coming in this year. Fine as you focus, but I did you meeting someone of potential this year. Correct me if I'm wrong. So, I kind of remember this, and this might be the energy with her. Yeah, the energy feels great for me. It doesn't seem like Lauren feels sweet. Okay, so this is good. So, okay, good. Thanks for correcting me, because I know last year you had a very dry year, right? So, see, she feels good. Now, I think she feels very passive, right? And so that's not a bad thing. So I think that she feels very emotionally sensitive. So I like the energy for this, but I think that the only thing that you might want to be aware of is that she can be emotional or fall into I don't want to say depression. It sounds extreme, but she could get sad easy of things. And so she might be, needing some extra attention at times in a sense, right? So it could be good, but just be aware that doesn't pull from your work, that she might need too much of attention in that sense, or just coddling, right? That might be the only downfall to this, but she feels sweet at the same time, right? So my advice is go with it. Go with this energy. I think it's good for you to have someone around right now that is sweet, that is, is not trying to do the typical what girls her age are doing, right? She seems a little detached from that. She feels like she wants to do more with her life, but doesn't quite know. So I think you might be able to inspire her in that sense. Just make sure you're aware of that part, though. But for the most part, I feel like she'll be on her way. I just feel like she has this little prone to get sad about things, and that might be, draining. Just make sure you're just uplifting her instead of trying to fix her. Just uplift her. You got it. We're good. And just keep her going in a positive direction. But this is great. I would say move forward with this and just enjoy that. And just like I said, make sure it's not taking too much for you. You're setting the boundaries on it. And it'd be great. Well, if it could be long-term situation or short-term, it really depends on you. I think it has a potential to be long-term, sure. But, I still think there's someone better, in a long scheme of things. But she also feels like it could potentially go that way too. If she evolves, if you inspire her to evolve and she gets on her bandwagon, then sure, But for now, take it step by step. Jai, you're young, right? You need to experience relationships either way. So just go with it. You'll know. Okay? And be objective about it. Okay? But yeah, potential, but I still feel like there's still a woman out there that is going to just be a perfect match. This is good for now. You need to date. You need to experience a relationship right now. And so enjoy that for what it is. It's kind of what I said the last time I read. Like someone come in, may not be like long term, but it's something that you need, because I think that, if it wasn't for my previous relationships, I wouldn't be able to like enjoy the one I have now. If it wasn't for my previous relationships, I don't think I'd be able to, know more about myself to be in the one that I have now. That's solid for me. You know what I mean? So, see it that way and use this as a way to grow more about your expression and what you need. And you'll have an enjoyment of the relationship, but be at peace with all of it, so. I don't feel like she's a Cancer, but I don't know. I'm not really reading her chart, but okay, I think we have Celeste in the room here. Let's add her to the right. Hi, Celeste. Oh, shit.
Hey, Scott.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. So what's the question? Do you have for me?
Well, oh my God. I actually.
Or what do you want me to read? Yeah.
Two things. So first, I've made this move. I've been here for almost 6 months now. Like everything's changed. And I've started a new job and it's a complete pivot. And I feel like that there's I believe everything happens for a reason. So that I'm in this space for a reason. Kind of just like the read on, I don't know where I'm going with this in a sense.
Well, I love it. Well,
what am I doing? No, I'm just kidding.
I do remember. Good. And look, this is wonderful. And I do remember last time we did a session, we talked about you moving and the move.
Yeah,
so
it's been 6 months. Yeah.
Perfect. So you're right on time. Let me look at this positioning because I want to look at where you're really going. You have I think the job is a job right now. It's not like the passion. So
it's something in me because I'm actually really enjoying it.
You could enjoy something too, and just you can get the rapport that you have with people, and the task could be utilized in the future. So it just means you're right on track. And I think this people misunderstand because they might be doing something temporary that they're supposed to hate it. And it's like, no, the fact it's temporary and you love it, it's saying that you're on a path you should be doing. So that's great. But, I do think that this is something this is meant to stabilize you.
Okay.
This is meant to stabilize you. This was meant to get you repositioned, resituated, without any type of concern because you moved and get you into kind of like more of a stable energy. So that's good. But you'll probably like build upon this within the next year or two, but I really feel like you getting into, healing work, like eventually getting to the healing work. I think the stability here, they're saying whatever people that you're working with in this job somehow is bringing out an understanding of how to deal with different personalities or understanding how to deal with different people is bringing more empathy, more perspective, and how to deal with it too. So I also see you kind of managing something. So I don't know if you'd be managing projects in the future here or micromanaging people. I feel that coming out of this too at some point, and working with people that way. So that to me is like building like, okay, now I understand how to work with people as a core. So when I start healing, I could do a retreat and work with multiple people. It's also teaching how to structure and to be, create projects, create, events. And so this is definitely the specific expression itself is not what you're doing, but the foundation of what you're doing is everything that you need for what you want to do with your healing work. Does that make sense?
Oh my God. Yeah. Cause that's actually how I felt is that this is going to help. Like, it's like I said, a step. I felt like it's a stepping stone into what I'm going to be doing. I'm working in a clinic in a very small community right now is what I'm doing.
Hello. Come on. What more?
Go ahead.
Yeah. I said, what more appropriate of a setting of a clinic when you want to get into healing work? I mean, it's like, hello, and then dealing with the people and the different aspects of understanding their conditions and circumstances. And, because, when you're healing people, you're not just going to get people who are spiritual. You're not going to get people who are just already just like, I understand spirituality and the conversion of energy. You're going to get people who are in dire circumstance. And, you know, and I got flooded with that too when 12 years ago when I started doing readings, people who are like suicidal, flooded with like everything's going wrong for them. The psychic is supposed to wave the wand. And so, you know, and so you're starting to see people in their certain circumstances and people that work there and how people treat people there too. Like you're getting a great glimpse of that. You know, but it really is, it's the schooling for the psychological, you know, experience that you're getting from that. But with your healing work, I see this is definitely a parallel to that. And I see that, you know, you're going to start expanding your healing work within the next, you know, like I said, year to 2 years, you'll start expanding that and start diving into it more specifically. And then forecasting how you can like do retreats with other women, other people, and getting people around in a retreat like circumstance, creating events, you know, being a project manager with your own events. So a lot of that's going to spawn from this and create that inspiration.
Wow. Thank you. Because
Yeah.
I feel like, I mean, all of the healing work and the things that like I thought that I was going to be doing is completely just, I feel like it's on hold, you know?
Well, to a certain degree, but it's like, imagine that when you go to college or school and you want to like learn one trait, but then you have to go through the other prerequisites, right? Before. So you're just kind of doing that, but it's still what you need to get you to be successful in this field that you're doing because the experience of it, that's going to be such a understanding. Well, you'll be thankful for this at the end. So that's good. So yes. And did you get rid of the dude? Is he gone?
Oh yeah.
Good. Because
that's all been cleared away.
Because I feel it. I feel it cleared, and you feel so different with the dude gone. You know.
Yeah.
And I just wanted you to answer the question because I want to see you light up. I was like, yes, and own it. Because I felt like there's been a lot of clearance of that energy gone, and that reliance is gone. You know, the codependency is gone from him.
And for myself, really, like
Yes.
the moving here was such a like this lingering dark night of the soul, and
Yeah.
spending so much time with myself and being in a place of not knowing anybody and moving from my family and just so many things. Like it is literally, I always kid around and saying that it's probably like my 5th life this lifetime.
Oh, trust me, I'm probably on my like 20th. I get it. It's like I look back, I don't even look the same. Like my face is like changed even along the years. It's like crazy, but I love that. That's exciting. That's what's exciting though. You know, when you do that. And so, because I remember, you know, the last video session we had, it's like, I don't remember. I cyclically tune in, my guides show me again. And I remember you feeling that heaviness. And, you know, we kind of were preparing you for this stage now. So I'm excited about that because I love, you're like the third person on here that we're seeing like the manifestation of our other session. So I love for people to see the growth. That's saying you might understand where things are going in a certain position, and then boom, then you're here. You can see how it connects. So it's a good example for people watching, actually. And so I love your new hair color. I don't know if it's ever been that color. I love the hair.
Yeah, no, it is. Yeah.
Amazing. So brighter or lighter. So good job on that clearance. And good job on this. So this year's gonna be a lot of that understanding and that internal development of skill sets and wisdom when it comes to working with people, and that's going to accelerate your healing. I think this job is going to carve off like 3 years of trying to get your healing, you know, career in order. This is going to carve off a lot of time by just doing this job. It's wonderful.
Awesome. So just go.
You don't see me when I get excited and passionate about it. I like the energy, you know, because it feels really good. So, and Sydney says you are so much.
That was really a lot of validation because that's how I was. That's how I was feeling with it, and again, and just kind of went with it and following the breadcrumbs, and it just happening so fast, and a complete pivot.
Yep. Like Sydney says you're so much. Sydney says you're so much lighter, girl. But see, but what you said right there, Celeste, what you said right there is what people need to understand. Spirit doesn't throw everything in your face right away. It's breadcrumbing. It's like little steps. It's like, you know, a path, following a path, because we have to live by intuition. And that's how we understand it's from intuition, because it's guiding us. It's a tier. It's a process. And so many people think they just have to manifest it all of a sudden in one shot. It's like spirit don't work that way. And if something does manifest like that, you have been constipated for many years of putting out work and not allowing it. I've seen that happen. People are just working so much, putting out value, but they haven't been a receptive mode. They're like, I'm worthy. Boom. Then it happens, right? So I think this is also a year for you of that worth energy. You know, and like really saying, I am worth this, and I'm seeing how things really fit together like a puzzle piece. I get this. I'm in control of this. I'm the high priestess here, because you are. I mean, you have a lot of that past mystical energy that is definitely coming through in this incarnation too, to where you can easily shift shape and form yourself, your reality. You have that ability to do so. So your soul knew what it needed now. And so that's why you feel at peace and why you're enjoying it, because your soul's like, yes, I'm getting all the information, all the wisdom and guidance that I need from this. So well done. Well done.
Thank
yes.
you. Wow.
Anything else? I mean, you're in a prime example of what I want my people who are watching, who are struggling to understand, is what you're doing. You're following your intuition. You're allowing the process to be. And I don't want to say the cliche sentiment of, oh, enjoy the journey. I mean, it's a journey, but you have to understand, what is my journey, right? And so you understand it's healing, it's self-care. And it's actually not allowing relationships to pull from you because you want to help them. You want to help people who really are seeking it and need it.
Yeah. And a lot of really just letting, there came this point where it was just let go and just see, really letting go of control, and
yes.
And allowing. And
well, let me tweak that a little bit. You're actually letting your soul take control.
Ooh.
Because the soul knows. The soul wants to get where it needs to be. You're letting the ego say, shush, you don't know what's good for me. My soul does. My soul's taking control. And that's where we kind of feel like we're press play, like we're observing, because the soul's doing its job and just feels very innate to you. That's the no work energy. So we think that no work means no control. It just means that's the flow we're talking about. You're in flow. Like, I'm listening to my soul. Let my soul do its job. It needs to do. Let me just observe and experience it with the physical brain, and that's what you did. So that's where we don't have that resistance or tension. So keep with that essence. You're gonna get so many downloads. I'm telling you.
Okay.
I'm so excited for you.
A little disconnected, but maybe not then.
Don't worry. No, disconnection just means you might be expecting something more like magical to come through, but this is the magical experience here. Usually the disconnection comes from unrealistic expectation. Being spiritual is just being present in physical reality and enjoying that. And so just understand, if you feel disconnected, say, I can't be disconnected. I'm soul. Maybe I'm just expecting more than I need to right now. Let me just appreciate what's going on here. All good. Let's get a cocktail. Let's go for a glass of wine. Let's have fun. Do that and be a physical being.
Yeah, I think that's the other thing too, is you were talking about that with the last person and just having a little bit more fun. And I think I've been taking things a little too seriously sometimes. So
that's the disconnection. That's a disconnection, because the soul's like, I'm not here to take things serious. I'm here to expand, take the power from this and express. And right now you have to express some fun. You have to express some I'm just enjoying no expectations right now. That's your soul also needs to experience right now too. So you keep that flow, because you need to understand that balance of fun and seriousness with helping people. I have to. When I'm helping people all the time and deal with people's problems every day, I have to have a flip side of creativity, expression, stupidness, funniness. Thank God my partner, Eric, is stupid like me. We get to just laugh the whole time and be funny and silly. So, you're finding that balance for yourself, especially when you can be a great businesswoman with your healing work. So that's going to be wonderful too. You just don't do it all yourself. Make sure you seek help with people help forming your business with you. But you'll be so focused. You're going to need to have learned the fact of having fun and free time for yourself. So start that lesson now. So any disconnection you're feeling is because you are taking it too seriously. You're not getting yourself in the mode of, okay, let me decompress.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
I think that I get that guilty feeling when I decompress, or when I'm just,
work through that, baby, because again, you're going to teach your client that they have to decompress. That's your decompression is where you allow inspiration to cycle through. You can understand what needs to be purged. You can look at things objectively, and you just need to reset too, so you have the energy. So it's necessary that you do so. It's rational. It's irrational to think that you shouldn't do that. I had that problem too. And this past 2 years, I kicked that habit, because I was like, I don't care. Whatever doesn't get done, I have to preserve and take care of myself. It's because otherwise, who else is going to? And if I'm always going out box, I got to replenish myself if no one else is going to. So make it realistic and rational for you that you have to.
Okay.
Don't be. My good friend said to me a long time ago. It's like don't be all outbox. Let some of the. Don't be all sending emails out. Let the messages come in for you too. So.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
I'm so excited for you, and I don't mean to sound condescending either, but I'm very proud of you. It's great to see people I've read in the past at their peak now and getting there. So I'm very excited for you guys, and you primarily too. Yeah, awesome stuff.
You.
Keep us posted.
I'll keep
all right.
you posted. One more. Can we do one more thing, or you gotta
Sure.
go?
Sure. No, go ahead.
I did meet a person here, and so I just kind of want a little read on Daniel.
Oh, Daniel, that name. Daniels are I never really I've had interesting
Daniel, that's really
I've had some interesting experiences with Dans and Daniels in my life, so I'm gonna have to bypass my own experiences. Let me read him individually. A lot of the Dans I met can be very compulsive and addicting, energetically and appealing. So I don't sense out with him in a sense. I think this energy is more laid back for you. I think with him and specifically, I think it's good for casual. Do I feel like he's a needy person? No. So I don't think he's like going to need anything from you. And so I like that, but he just might be too laid back actually in time, so, and that might be what you need right now. Someone's just kind of laid back, isn't expecting anything from you. There's some fun, there's some, intimacy, there's some companionship. And it has a potential to build from there. I just can't predict whether or not it will. It depends on how you experience it at this stage, because it has a potential that you might get bored from it. It's kind of the same thing. I like him. He's nice, but it's missing an oomph. Or you might just evolve and in time you experience it, you pull it out of him and he gets more oomph. That's possible too. I can't decipher which way it would go toward. But I do feel like right now it's good for companionship. It seems laid back, casual. Seems like he's good vibes, doesn't come with expectations or to-do list with you. So I think that's good, in that regard.
Nice.
Okay. But you might be just too laid back to a fault that you might want some more oomph.
Interesting. Okay.
in time, you might realize he's a little consistent or predictable, but that doesn't have to be a bad thing. It could be something that's just showing you that there's stability there too. So, I don't want it to sound like it's bad, but it's something that could pose a issue for you where you feel like that you might need more. That's a potential opposing of this, but keep it for what it is right now. And I think right now it's what you need. It's feeling that companionship energy. I'm glad he's not needy. I'm glad he's not trying to latch on and suck energy from you.
No, it doesn't seem that way either.
No,
and we have a lot of fun.
Perfect. So again, go out, get that cocktail, have fun, keep it for what it is. I think that you need to experience relationships right now, especially romantic ones, that don't have any type of parameter to it. Just kind of it's up in the air. So that's what I feel like this is good for you right now. It's up in the air. We're having fun. There's no parameter. I'm not expecting anything from him to show up, but he's not expecting anything from me. We're just kind of going with the flow on this. You need that experience with this, so enjoy it.
Okay. Awesome.
You got this.
It was cool.
You too.
I haven't had a Thursday night, and all of a sudden you popped up, and I'm like, oh my God. So
I love it. I'm so glad you did. You look beautiful. You look amazing. You look light. You look fresh, and I'm so excited for your journey ahead for you. It's great. It's wonderful.
Thank you.
All right, my love. Have a wonderful night. Thanks for calling in.
I will.
Calling in. What am I, Cleo? Right, call me now. All right, well, keep us all posted because we're all gonna want to, keep us in touch. So we all love each other here. So,
awesome.
Okay,
I will.
All right, my love. Have a good night.
Good night. Bye.
Ciao. All right. Well, that's great. That's the third great news here. And I do toot my horn and say, we predicted this only because I want people to understand the process of reads too. One, we could predict something, you might not understand why it's there, and then it happens. So you get to see why things really do connect, and that's the whole point. So, oh, that's nice, Tamisha. That's nice of you. Thank you for those super chats. That's sweet of you. I don't really do super chats, but thank you for that. But I'll pull a card for you at the end. How about? So stay tuned, Tamisha. I will pull a card for you to show my appreciation for the super chats. Okay, next we have wonderful Sydney Aaron. I love you too, sister, from another mister. What's the vibe with my day job? Anything to be concerned about? Feeling the ick about someone I care about, a friend? How to navigate this? Should I trust one thing? Okay. The day job, anything to be concerned about? No. And I think that's probably bothering you because there's nothing to be concerned about. So the fact there's nothing to be concerned about, you're concerned about it, right, Sydney? So no. Let this day job just be what it is. Let it not have too much of a struggle or dynamic. Let it just be easy for you. Okay? Because I feel like it is. And look, there's always been some conflict somewhere with anything. That's just life. But I'm saying, generally speaking, there's nothing to be concerned about here. You know, let it be that way. I think it's because it's clear or it's quiet as you're used to, you know, that I think you're kind of like, is something wrong? Like, you know, it's like, no, it's just quiet. Just chill. It just is what it is, you know? So no, that's good. Second question, feeling the ick about someone I care about, a friend. How do I navigate this? Should I trust what I'm feeling? Well, always trust what you're feeling. You don't need a psychic to tell you. You don't have to spend money on a psychic to say, should I trust what I'm feeling? You might want to get your feelings validated. But no, you definitely want to trust your feelings. Let me read the situation the friend, though. I just think that you're outgrowing them. The way they handle circumstances and this, maybe it's selfish. I just feel like they're being very self-absorbed in the negative sense. You know what I'm saying? And I think that they're in I don't want to say desperation, but they're in a situation that they will kind of get what they want at all costs. Energy. Like, I get that vibe from them. So I think you're just picking up on the way they're trying to get what they want in life, or they're trying to manipulate to get what they want. So I just think that you're outgrowing a person of that stature or that type of, you know, character, right? So, and it doesn't feel like it's directly towards you. It just feels like them and how they're seeing things. Just feels very, very, you know, I don't know. I'm trying to think of a word to use. It's just I don't want to say superficial. It just feels too heavy, too manipulative, too self-serving, too, you know, vapid. You know what I'm saying? And I just think you're outgrowing them. You know, good. Thank you for that validation, because I just think that's what it is, my love. You know, so I don't think that you have to look for something wrong that they did. Just say to yourself, I don't really like how they handle themselves or life or other people, that I'm just taking a step back. So I would take a step back from this dynamic. I would take you know, a step back from that dynamic. Yeah, I would. You are, but you know, you're also a powerhouse too. Well, see, this question is interesting, Cindy. How do you get out of it? You're not in anything. It's just a friendship. I don't care how long a friendship is. I had to maneuver away from friendships of 12, 15 years because of, you know, disagreements or things I don't find fit. But, you know, you should probably just stop participating so much. Take a step back. I don't think you have to necessarily say anything right now. Just like arm's length, take a step back. And if they're codependent and like need to like you to listen to them all the time, I would stop doing that and take a step back. Say, look, girl, like I'm in a different space right now. I'm trying to focus on my life. I don't have time to like hear things anymore. And, you know, and I would just start setting boundaries slowly but slowly. You don't have to completely pull the cord, but I would just start distancing yourself slowly, not responding to certain things. And especially when you're getting that energy of that self-centered, vapid, you know, approach, you just don't respond. You pull away from that. So take your time with that. You know, you don't have to just pull a plug and just disappear. You can, but I just think that for you, just like take your time on that. You know, oh, that's better. It was blocking my light. Take your time on that. You know, but I just think again, it's just you're just outgrowing it. You know, where did that go? I just like things are just flopping. You know, just take your time. Just take your time on that. But I don't know. I don't see them changing. You know, and I just think that sometimes too. You know, Sydney. Sometimes we're on parallels of people, and it just starts going this way. You start growing, and evolving, and it just starts going this way. You know. So, okay. And next we have now we have Heidi. Let me check my PayPal too. I know it logs me out. I mean, I had it open here. What the fuck? Okay, there we go. We have Heidi, and then let's shut down these reads and just make an announcement, Nina, that the readings we're shutting down the readings. If you can make a announcement, a blast, because we're about time. We have Heidi, and then the last would be Susan. So Heidi says, what message do my guides have for my career or just life in general? Thanks. I appreciate you. Well, I appreciate you. Appreciation goes both ways. So thank you. Let's see. Two things. They said focus on doing the books. Now that means two things for me. Both the books, like financially, make sure you're getting bored on money coming in, money go out, and anything you need to invest on. Now's the time to get prepared for this, they're saying. But then also they're saying focus on the books, so there might be something you do with books too. Either you create one or you get a ghostwriter. I don't know. I'm not gonna say that. But I think that you might also, do something with books. They said get on the books. So that means financially, but also maybe you'll end up writing one. But when they say books plural, it means that there might be more than one. So maybe you're called to do a series of books or work with a series of books somehow. But they're saying prepare for the books with financials, like projections, anything that you need within your financial spectrum, they're saying right now, because I feel like then things are going to start evolving this year for you to understand how to navigate your own business and in your own individual part with your career, right? That's important. I heard rebranding too, so maybe you'll rebrand how you're doing what you're doing, or rebranding yourself for your individual career or the career that you're doing as a solo person. So I feel rebranding on that. The Sun card comes out like being the center of the focus. You kind of working on your passions. Transformation, so it's going to be a change. You'll be transforming how you've been doing the work that you're doing, right? So it's more of a prediction. So that's a good thing too. This is also travel card too. I'm also pulling cards in conjunction as well. This is more traveling too, that you might just experience more travel, different areas or essences for what you're doing too. So it feels like a busy year, but the Tower card comes in as well. Just say that there is going to be some breaking down of things. The Tower card isn't always devastation, as some people are always scared about it. Tower card is also, if you look at the lightning bolts is a symbol of illumination, right? And inspiration coming through and shattering old belief structure. So I think that will also be done. You'll have a revamp this year of shattering belief structures that might feel like you're doing some sort of a purge, or feel like you've broken down something in a way, but then you find this sense of like re-enlightenment to help you push you in your career. So there is going to be a psychological change and reprogramming in that sense too, probably within the next month or so. Because I feel like that it's got to get on board here and breaking down. So you might feel like you might cry about something, or release something, or restructure some belief structure and something like that to purge it and not create more movement. And you might, again, take a trip this year that will help to assist with this evolution, but also with that individual transformation, putting yourself the focus to where you start focusing on your individualized work and career. So get on the books, start focusing on your financial, ins and outs, and also get on maybe a series of books that you have to read. I don't know. And then maybe you're sitting on a series of books you need to read. Maybe it's that too, or you're going to be writing books. All of that they're saying to focus on. It's going to be a transformative year in that sense of changing your perspective on things. So, and Ace of Wands, to me, it's all about creativity. So there's some endeavor with the books and getting on the books, that they're saying in that sense, and understanding how to manage an independent business, independent career, and what you've been doing, expanding that. But there needs to be a spiritual awakening, a spiritual recalibration in order for those things to change, or, for things to move, to create movement. You know what I mean? Thanks. I've been hairstylist for 25 years and it feels sad. Well, that's because you've been in a routine. So that makes sense about, this kind of emotional shift. So I think that emotional shift is going to help you, but you'll understand this getting on the books thing to get yourself more in control, in charge of what you're doing with your own business, and maybe reading those books, and maybe there's something you have to obtain, learn more, and to do something additional that's more creative. And if not, writing a book, I don't know. The writing a book thing is, I'm kind of like half and half on that. It's more about getting in the books. So maybe start teaching what you do. Maybe you teach how to do hair. Maybe that's getting on the books too in this because it was a 2-parter on that. So get in your financial business, invest, and maybe you start teaching how to do hair and educate. So there's going to be a transformation this year for sure. All right, Heidi? But that spiritual awakening's coming first. Or that reshifting. I don't want to say emotional breakdown because it sounds too dramatic, but it might feel something like that that's in a minor way. And understand that's spirit saying, all right, we're ready to go. Let's get going here, okay? Because it's going to be transformative. Get out of the stagnant energy. That means that there's been no progression in yourself, right? I said it in the collective read. When things aren't changing, things are the same, you're just kind of being repetitive, you keeping stagnant, you keeping consistent, there's been no progression in the self. You know what I'm saying? So when there's progression in the self, then it can evolve and change. So you probably just need to start teaching, okay? Okay, good, because I wasn't sure if it was going to. So I'm glad, thank God. Sometimes I get information, I'm like, what the fuck am I talking about? So I'm glad it does, but it's a good transformative year for you. I wouldn't even say transformative, Heidi, just expansive. Growing it now, You'll be pleasantly surprised. I'll say this. Little wink from spirit. Last but certainly not least is for Susan Will. I'll just shorten the last name. Whoa. Susan, it's like a dam just opened up. Whoa. All right, well. All right, Susan. Well, you must be a naturally anxiously ridden person. I think a lot of stuff are in physical reality, right? So, but I feel things are changing this year for you. My 8 of Wands is fast movement and success, right? And things being successful, things moving. 10 of, and I'm reading this more collectively here, Justice card and the 10 of Pentacles. There's some sort of legal issue surrounding finances that comes to pass. If you had a legal issue financially, it comes and works in your favor, balances out. If you're not sure, then there'll be a legal matter that works in your favor. Either way, if you're in one, it resolves. If you're not in one, then you'll realize this year might be a legal issue financially, but it works in your favor. And the 10 of Pentacles always is kind of like my inheritance card, investment card, all that, right? And so, and then the three of Pentacles is my communal card, so connecting with a community of people. So I feel like a lot of resolve, like I said, in any type of financial legality. If it's unknown to you now, there will be one to be in your favor. And I feel a sense of you connecting with community and reaching just a new community of people, and that kind of be more of a vibe that you're needing this year moving forward. And things is quick movement. This is, again, 8 of Wands is a quick movement, success and things, So, like I said, the dam opened up because I feel like you've been anxious and kind of feeling in contempt of self, but then I feel like just things kind of opening up for you and showing you what life really is in this year. And there's a yin to yang to that. There'll be some challenges too, don't get me wrong, that's just life. But you'll start experiencing newness, right? And whatever financial aspect that's just a legality that comes up, either from the past resolving or resolving the future through either inheritance or investment, whatever you want to call it, works in your favor. So that's good. This is good for you. So just find a way to understand when you're anxious, you're not listening to yourself. When you have anxiety, you're not really listening to yourself. Circumstances are talking more than you. Everybody in the room listen to this. When you feel anxiety, everything else is talking louder than you are, and that just creates anxiety, right? And we get anxious when we don't know what's about to happen. So we do know what's going to happen intuitively. That's why we have intuition. And if we don't know specifically, we understand where we're going intuitively. So if you're anxious, everything else is talking louder than you, and stop making that happen for you. Stop making that an issue. And to continue with really quickly before with Suzanne, again, this is like grandmother energy, nurturing energy. So there might be an inheritance or some money from family, generosity. So it seems like a financial explosion somehow coming out. Some financial explosion and partnership. So again, it's just a card pull. I don't have time for a full read, but like feels like a dam has bursted open. So again, this is predictive, so you probably won't understand half of that until it happens. So, okay, and then I'm just going to do a quick card pull for Tamisha, just a simple one because she gave me some super chats to be nice. And then we have a sound bath for a new sound bath from Lafayette. So we'll close with that, and we'll call it a day. So this is I'm just going to do a simple one, or I'm going to do a couple oracles for Suzanne, for Tamisha. So you got these cards here, Tamisha: fruition, assessing, and abundance. So you too are going to have a fruitful financial year, seems like, but also like your ideas coming to fruition, your creative tasks coming to fruition this year. So I feel like you've been sitting on an idea and haven't been doing it, but then you'll get off your butt and like, I'm gonna get that idea going, I'm gonna get that thing moving this year. So I feel like you coming to fruition with that, and also bring you some also financial abundance in the sense. So it's could be a good year for you too. I see you feeling motivated about this new idea or project you were trying to get off the ground. You might even just decide to do something, redo your home or to redesign something. I feel like you're gonna have this design bug too, to redesign something. So you might just go with it, because it might just need to change your space. Okay, Tamisha? So you might just I just need to redesign my space, or just feel like just need to just change pillows and like make it feel more luxe for me. So you're going to feel that luxe energy and appreciation of self, and getting off your behind in a sense, or what you've been sitting on, and getting off and getting things moving into fruition. And assessing means that you're looking for your inner worth. Like you're really finding what really is meaningful and valuable to you this year too. So that's really positive. My abundance is always just kind of like what people care about most is money, right? So abundance means that you start feeling that essence of, I have what I need, So, can you do an in-depth video on intuition? Maybe I'm late to the channel. I have many actually on intuition, and psychic ability. I'm actually working on a course called Psychic 101. So you can browse my videos. Make sure when you browse on YouTube, you browse the live videos and the video videos, because the live videos are separate. I wish they just had all the videos on one page. I've done a lot of topics live about psychic and how do you know you're psychic and all this stuff. I think my last week's episode was signs that you're psychic, right? But then I also have a video called like intuition itself. It's like, I think it was one of my first videos I did on YouTube called intuition. So like browse my page. There's not much on here because I've only been on for about a year and a half on YouTube itself. But yeah, I just last week's topic was signs you're psychic. And then I think one of my first video was like intuition, literally. But I talk about this in a lot of my episodes. So yeah. All right. So without further ado, let's enjoy a little 5-minute sound bath to kind of wind things down, get in the right energy mode before we all go to bed. Here's a wonderful sound bath from Lafayette. I'll be right back when he's done. Wasn't that delicious? There's Lafayette. Send me to another planet again. That's awesome. Thank you, Lafayette. If you guys didn't know, scan that QR code up in the corner to get his album, to help support him, so you can do more sound healing, sound bathing for us. Cuddle Wind Dragon's amazing. Love you. Appreciate you so much. I'm happy you're here. I gained so much from your readings. Good night. Oh, that's so sweet. We appreciate that. Again, I always say I'm a conduit and I'm a mouthpiece for spirit. So, and we're all part of the collective spirit too. So I appreciate that. And I get the love doing it is what I get out of it. So I love it. So it's been a wonderful night, guys. Thank you guys for showing up as usual. I appreciate every single one of you guys. I love you guys tremendously. You guys are amazing and doing well. And so those of you who are new and want to book a one-on-one session, scottcruzpm.com. Of course, my one-on-one readings are more in depth, more personal, because I get to see you or hear you or connect with you directly. So scottcruzpm.com. Especially running the forecast and for 2025, and also I offer mediumship sessions. If you want to connect with someone who's crossed on, I do those sessions as well, and also intuition builder. So if you want to tap into your psychic abilities and mediumship abilities, I have a session for that too. And and catch us next week for LOL. We'll continue on. We couldn't do that this morning. We'll do that next week, called what is it called? The Manifesto of Self-Love. We'll get into that as well. All right. And I will see you guys all next week. And I love you all. And I'm going to leave you with my song, The Reason. It's a little lyric video. I figure I'll close each live too, so you guys can continue chatting with a song of mine. So this song is The Reason. I wrote it back in 2021, I think, like during COVID. So it's a lyric video. So enjoy that. And then I will see you guys next week. I love every single one of you guys. You're all the gods and goddesses of your own myth. What do you want to create? Much love.
Such is life, picking sides, but everyone is losing. Here they come, picking fights. Why is it so amusing? My mind is spinning, busy searching for a meaning, no escaping it. 'Cause every time we find ourselves in different places, baby, just get beside, I'm still searching the meaning to life. Someone try now to convince me that no matter the season, there's only one reason. It's love. Is it love? I won't back down or lie down. I'll defend it. Just give me the reason. And filter through your anger. Fool me once, I'll fool you twice. We can't help but the but to give you all the love and understanding, I keep calling it. So every time you turn your back and play the victim, I'm not buying it. Step aside, I'm still searching. I'm still searching, yeah. Can someone try now to convince me that no matter the season, there's only one reason. It's love. Is it love? I won't back down or lie down. I'll defend it. Just give me the reason. Give me the reason. Love.
Scott Cruz is popularly known for his life-changing one-on-one readings to also guide in your soul ascension journey. With life readings, get insight into your relationships, career, health, trauma healings, past life regressions, and more. Want to connect with a loved one who's transitioned? Scott's mediumship session can be the gateway to you and your loved ones in spirit, bridging the gap between the physical and the spiritual realm. If you want to enhance your own psychic ability, Scott's Intuition Builder session can help expand your psychic and mediumship abilities. So sign on to scottcruzpm.com to book your own personal session today.